Okay, today we are going to see second chapter. Okay, second chapter is related to totally OOPS concept. Okay, first we will see what is the syllabus for your second chapter, so it will be very easy to you. Okay, so see here, this is introduction to OOPS, object oriented programming. In that, first we will start with the what is mean by object and what how we can design through classes. Okay, after classes and objects creation, we will move towards the fields and methods. But before moving towards methods, we will see what is meant by constructor, because university has set that syllabus in wrong direction. Okay, so we have to move. So we will follow the actual direction of a Java language. Okay, we will not follow the syllabus pattern. Only we will see what is in your second chapter, but we will follow the sequence of a Java only. They have covered all OOPS concept within second chapter only, but they have changed its sequence. But we are using our own sequence because if you understand object and classes, then you can understand what is meant by constructor, then what is meant by methods, and after that we can move towards the inheritance. Okay, first we will see inheritance. After inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. Okay, this is the direction of your syllabus. Okay, they have mentioned in very wrong direction. They have made at whenever they will be possible, they have added their points. But we will not follow this sequence. We will follow our own sequence. Okay, after polymorphism, we will go towards abstraction, then encapsulation. Then in between that we will see this keyword, then super keyword, as well as new keyword likewise. Okay, whatever keywords are useful for the OOPS concept, we will see in that particular pillars. Okay, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. These are the four main pillars of a Java. So whenever we will require some keywords, at that time we will see it is in brief. Okay, then after covering all the syllabus regarding OOPS concept, we will move towards the wrapper classes. Okay, after that we will move towards the wrapper classes, and whenever we will cover inheritance and polymorphism abstraction, then we will move towards the interfaces. Okay, through interfaces we can apply the multiple inheritance in our Java. Okay, we will see why we need interfaces in Java for applying the inheritance concept. Okay, according to that we will see. Then, and last point is a garbage collection. This is the last point in our chapter. Then recursion in Java and typecasting. Typecasting we will see intermediately. Okay, whenever we are going to see all these four pillars, in that case we will see typecasting also. Only last point is regarding garbage collection. This is different one, all this. So we will start our chapter through objects and classes. Okay, so I will start my presentation. Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will start slideshow, so it will be in larger. So this is our second chapter. In that, first we will see OOPS concept. Okay, we will see one by one what is meant by object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. This is the our flow of flow of our chapter. Okay, so we will first cover all these 6 parts, and then we will move towards the garbage collection and typecast. First, object. Object means a real world entity, such as suppose we have considered paper, fan, computer, watches, table, etc. Okay, so all these are nothing but the objects. And whenever we are moving towards the object oriented programming, it is a methodology or paradigm to design a program using classes and object. Okay, object oriented programming means It is a methodology or paradigm to design a program using classes and objects. Okay, so to achieve object-oriented programming, we need both objects as well as classes. By using these two, we can design our object-oriented program. It simplifies software development and maintenance by providing some concepts like inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Apart from these concepts, there are some other terms which are used in the object-oriented design. These are nothing but the coupling, cohesion, association, aggregation, and composition. Okay, these are the some keywords or some words or some technologies which are used to achieve this object-oriented programming system. Okay, we will see one by one what is mean by object, classes, and up to encapsulation. Okay, object is nothing but the runtime entity. Any object that has state and behavior is known as an object. See here, I am telling you one simple definition regarding object. Okay, any entity that has state and behavior is known as an object. For example, pen, paper, pencil, fan, tube, likewise. Okay. Now see, it can be a physical or logical. We can consider it as a physical or it may be a logical. An object can be defined as an instance of a class. Okay, we will see in example of programs, so you will be able to understand how to declare the objects of that particular class. Only keep it in mind that an object can be defined as an instance of a class. Again, an object contains an address and takes some space in a memory. Okay, whenever we are going to create object for a particular class, some memory is get allocated for that object. So memory minimization concept will be achieved through this object creation process. Object can communicate without knowing the details of each other data or code. Only necessary thing is that type of a message accepted and type of a response returned to by object. Only, okay? त्यामुळे लक्षात ठेवताना फक्त एवढंच लक्षात ठेवा. Any entity that has state and behavior is called as an object. We will see whenever we will move towards the example how to implement object and classes part through program. Okay. Now suppose we will take one example. Suppose I have considered a fan. Okay. Whenever we are going to consider a ceiling fan, in that case, the states are nothing but the color of that fan, then blades of that fan. Okay. Another one is a company name of that particular fan. Likewise, these are the nothing but the states of that object, means states of a fan. And whenever we are moving towards the behavior, am I audible?
मॅम तुमचा वॉइस ब्रेक होतोय.
Okay. Okay. Now see. Now I have explained what is meant by states of that particular object. I have considered fan as an example. Fan has states like color of that fan, company name, then how many blades are having means it may be of 3 or it may be of 4. Okay, likewise. And behavior of a fan is nothing but the rotation. Okay, for 1 minute it may take how many rotations, then speed of that fan, all this comes under the behavior of that fan. So these are the states and behavior of a object, for example fan. Okay, next is a class. What is meant by class? Collection of object is called as the class. It is also a logical entity because we are designing through program only. We are not assigning any the part that is physically, means we cannot touch this part. That's why we are calling it as a logical one. A class can also be defined as a blueprint from which you can create an individual object. Okay, it is also called as the blueprint from which you can create your individual objects. Class doesn't consume any space. Okay, object consumes space as we have seen in previous explanation for object whenever we are going to create object of that particular class, then and then only the memory is allocated for that particular object. Class doesn't say consume any space in memory. Okay, then we will see shortly what is meant by inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation, because these are the nothing but single chapters. Okay, inheritance is a one chapter. Likewise, all these are one single chapters. Okay, we will see only definition of that all four pillars. Inheritance. Okay, when one object acquires all the properties and behavior of a parent object is known as a inheritance. Okay, what is meant by inheritance? Acquiring properties of a parent class is called as the inheritance. It provides code reusability. It is also used to achieve runtime polymorphism. Okay, so we will see polymorphism, because when we can understand inheritance, then and then only we can implement polymorphism. Polymorphism is nothing but a task performed in different way. Okay, poly means many and morphism means multiple. Sorry, morphism means task. So many tasks performed at a time is called as the polymorphism. Then abstraction. What is meant by abstraction? Hiding internal details and showing functionality is known as the abstraction. For example, suppose we have considered phone call. We don't know the internal processing. Only we are calling with each other and we are discussing through phone call. So this is nothing but the abstraction. Okay, then encapsulation. Last part is a encapsulation. Binding or wrapping code and data together into a single unit is known as the encapsulation. Okay, now suppose we have considered one capsule. It is nothing but the combination of different medicines in a one wrapper. Okay, and that wrapper we are calling it as a one capsule. Through that capsule we can intake different or multiple ingredients of medicine together. Okay, and that dissolves in whenever we are taking inside. So this part is nothing but the encapsulation. Now see, I will show you one graphical representation. Okay, this is the end part, encapsulation. Whenever we are creating class, first its object is get created. Through that object, we are accessing that properties and behavior of that class. Then whenever we are going to achieve inheritance, inheritance is nothing but the acquiring properties and behavior of parent class. It means inheritance is totally depend on class and class is accessed through object. So this is the sequence. Whenever we are moving towards the polymorphism, it should apply the inheritance concept, then and then only we can move towards the polymorphism. Then abstraction. As we have seen now, abstraction is nothing but the hiding internal details and showing functionality. Means it hides all this process and it will only implement what are important for the user. Okay, and then encapsulation. Then encapsulation is nothing but it add all these functionalities in a one unit and provide one wrapper. Okay, and that process is called as the encapsulation. So this is the way of object oriented programming system, how it works. Okay, if you want to take it, you can take it. I will wait for 2 minutes. uh, might you cannot draw it manually, so you can make one thing. First write object, then provide forward arrow, then write class, again forward arrow, inheritance, likewise up to encapsulation. Okay, so write down this process: first object, then class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Okay. Now we will move towards remaining functionalities or remaining terminologies which are used while creating these four pillars, that is coupling, cohesion, association, aggregation and composition. Okay. Now see what is meant by coupling. Coupling refers to the knowledge or information or dependency of another class. Okay. When it is get used, okay, coupling. Coupling refers to the knowledge or information or dependency of another class. Okay, we will see when we will move towards the inheritance part. Okay, only keep this point with you. Okay, then cohesion. Cohesion refers to the level of a component which perform a single well-defined task. Cohesion is refers to the level of a component which performs single well-defined class. We will see it in the polymorphism part. What is meant by working of that cohesion. Okay. Then association and aggregation. First, association. You have already learned what is meant by association in DMS. Okay. There are different associative properties are there like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many. Likewise. So association represent the relationship between the objects, and these objects are having four types: one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many. So four types are there for association. Then aggregation. Aggregation is a way to achieve association. Means totally depending on association. That's why first we need to check which association we are going to use, and according to that we have to go towards the so aggregation is a way to achieve association, and last one is a composition. What is meant by composition? The composition is also a way to achieve association. The composition represents the relationship where one object contains other objects as a part of its state. Okay, we will see in later next lectures how to achieve all these parts also to complete the inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. Okay, so this is the totally theory part. Now we will move towards the actual implementation part. Okay, till now we have seen all the theory parts. We have not covered any practical example. Now we will move towards the first point in our syllabus, that is objects and classes. How to create class, how to create object, likewise. Okay, so next one is a object and classes. First we will see its definition and then we will move towards the actual example. Now see, what is meant by object? As we have seen its definition, object is nothing but the, yes, anybody can tell me? Because we have seen its definition 3 or 4 times. Yes, anybody is interested to tell me its definition?
It specifies states and behavior, or we can call it as it is a runtime entity.
Right. And classes?
This is collection of object.
Collection of object. Okay, right. Now see, object has 3 characteristics: state, behavior and identity. As we have seen one example, that is a fan. Fan having state as a color. Suppose color is a white or black. Then it having name of that particular company because particular fan is made by that company. Then blades of that fan. Suppose some fans having 3 blades, some fan having 4 blades. Likewise, state is of fans are nothing but color, name and number of blades. Then behavior. Behavior of a fan is nothing but rotation, means for 1 minute it may take how many rotations. Likewise, then speed of that fan, because we are having total five stages of that regulator, we can take a speed in between this. So this is nothing but the behavior of that friend. Then suppose we have considered identity. An object identity is typically implemented via unique ID. The value of the ID is not visible to the external user. However, it is used internally by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. Okay, so identity is nothing but the separate ID provided to that object by the JVM to identify each object uniquely. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. आवाज येतोय सगळ्यांना? ज्ञानेश्वर? Okay. 1 minute. I will again present it. If my voice is not audible, then tell me, interrupt me in between, okay? Because I am on the slides. That's
But
why I'm unable. Yes.
in between, your voice is gone. So,
Yes. Because here
so, ma'am, we are
cloudy.
able to understand concept. It is gone in between, not at the starting and not at the end.
Yes. Fiza?
Ma'am,
Hello, Fiza.
ma'am, in between, your voice is gone. When
Okay.
you are
Whenever my voice is not audible, interrupt me because due to network issues, we are unable to take it. Okay, because I am on this slides window, that's why I'm unable to check here whether your my voice is audible to you or not. Okay,
okay.
slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so uh, while while initializing objects in the Java, there are these three methods. Okay, but before moving towards these three ways, we will see one simple example of a objects and a class. Okay. So this is the one class. Inside the main method, we have created its object, and we will see one another example through outside the declaration of that class. Okay, so first one is create instance of that class inside the main method. Okay, now see, I have created one class having name as a students. In that, I have created two variables. First one is the ID of that student. You can consider it as a roll number. Okay, no problem. Then another one is a name. I have used string and integer data types to take values as a ID and name. Okay. So in same class I have declared main method. Okay, and now I want to assign values to that particular ID and name. Currently I have not assigned any value because we are going to take inside the same class. Now see what will happen when we will run it. Okay. I am showing this process again and again because whenever you will stuck at any time while running this program, it will be very easy to find out. Whether all links are shared with you of my lecture by Kadam madam. Yes, all of you. Whether all lectures links are shared with you by Kadam madam or not. Hello, Jaideep. Jaideep Zadav. Whether my lectures links are shared with you by Kadam madam
Means
for any other subject.
system
म्हणजे जे
programming
lectures
वाचन
झाले
म्हणजे
सेपरेट
मेलवर
सरांनी शेअर केले होते.
तांबळे सरांनी शेअर केलं होतं
बर
मेलवर.
बर ठीक आहे. कारण की एक शीट आहे ती तुम्हाला शेअर झाली का नाही विचारासाठी विचारलं. त्याच्यामध्ये सगळ्या लिंक्स आहेत सगळ्या सब्जेक्टच्या म्हणून विचारलं बाकी काही नाही.
हा मॅडम म्हणजे
बरं
मेल
ठीक
पण
आहे
मग
मी
त्यांच्याच
सगळ्या
केलं.
लेक्चरच्या लिंक
मेलवरच केलं ना
नाही
तुम्ही
मेलला नाही
WhatsApp?
पाठवलं. नाही कदम मॅडमने व्हॉट्सअपच्या ग्रुपला टाकलंय का विचारते ह्याच्या आधी कधी.
नाही बहुतेक.
ठीक आहे मी माझ्या लेक्चरच्या सगळ्या लिंक्स आज अपलोड करते जेणेकरून जर कोणी आता जॉईन झालेले असतील तर त्यांच्याही लक्षात येईल. ठीक आहे.
ठीक आहे मॅडम.
ओके. Okay, now I have inside that folder, I will set the path, then I will run that program. Okay, before running, I will compile it. Name of my program is a student. Now see what will be the answer. Okay, 0 and none. Now see our program. I have here initialize ID and initialize name, but I have not provided any value to that variables. That's why it has printed it as a 0 and none. For ID, it has printed as a 0, and for name, which is in the format of a string, that's why it print as a null. Now see, suppose I have provided some values over here. ID is 1 and name is
Hello,
equal
ma'am.
to, suppose, yes. Hello.
Your voice is not clear, ma'am. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, 1 minute. Am I audible now? Soham?
No, ma'am.
Okay, 1 minute. I will rejoin it. Wait for 1 minute. Okay, now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now see here. I have provided here some values to ID and name. Initially, I have not provided any value to ID and name. That's why it has printed it as a 0 and none. Now I have provided values for ID and name. I will save it. Then first I will compile it. Then I will run it. Okay. Are you getting what we have done over here? Right now we have provided values to that variables. That's why here values are get fetched. And whenever we are not providing any values to that particular variables, then null or 0, or if we are considering floating values, then 0.00, likewise your answer. Okay, so this is the very simple example creating object of a same class in the same. Okay, means we have declared main method in the same class only, and in that class we have created same object of that class. Okay, now another example is regarding creating object of a class which is outside the main method. Okay, right now we have seen inside the main method. This is outside the main method. So this is one class, same variables we have take over here. I have only declared variables. We have not provided any value to that variable. Now, I have created object of a class student over here. I have not created object of a test student class over here because we have to fetch values of another class in our own class. That's why I have created object of a student class to access properties of that class particularly. And by using that object name, I have called here that variables. Okay, first what I have done, I have created one class student having two variables, id and name. Then in another class, that is test student, I have created main method. In that main method, I have created object of a student class, that is s1 is equal to new student. Then for printing purpose, I have used student.out.println. In that, how to print that values of that particular classes, s1.id to fetch the value of a id, then s1.name to fetch the value of a name. S1 is the object of a student class. Through that class, through that object we are accessing values of a id and name. Right now we have not assigned any values to that id and name. First we will run this by default values, and then we will run again assigning some values to that particular variables. Okay, now see here, I have declared it as a public, that's why it is not taking. Whenever we are considering one class inside the another class, whenever we are moving towards the public, it will have some problems. We will see in later lectures how to use public and private for classes. Okay, in inheritance concept, we will see that part. Only you consider we cannot declare till now. Okay, see here, we have not assigned any values to id and name, that's why it has printed it as a 0 and none. Now suppose I will assign id as a 56 and name is equal to, suppose I have printed here xyz. Again I have saved it, compiled it and run it. Okay, whatever values we have assigned that particular ID is get assigned to this object. Means through object it has get fetched over here in test student class and it has been printed on the console. So there are two ways to create object. Considering class outside the main method or considering class in the same main method. Okay, so these are the two ways. Now we will move towards the object initialization part. Okay, as now we have seen how to create object. Now we will see how many ways are there in the creation of an object in a Java. There are three ways of object creation. First one is reference variable and second one is a method and constructor. Okay, we will see in today's lecture these two parts, how to create reference variable, then method and constructor, and we will elaborate what is meant by constructor with its types and with its programs. Okay, so first we will see how to initialize objects by reference variable. Before seeing this program, we will go inside the object initialization folder. Again, you have to use this part over here. Okay, again set the path and then you can run your program. Now see, first I will open that how to create object using reference tag. Okay, now see, we have seen this example right now, means test student 1. ठीक आहे, टेस्ट स्टुडंट 1 मध्ये आपण सेम एक्झाम्पल पाहिलं होतं. फक्त काय केलं होतं, आपण आयडी डिक्लेअर केला होता, त्याचप्रमाणे नेम पण डिक्लेअर केलं होतं. पण इथे फेच करताना आपण व्हॅल्यूज कशा घेतल्या होत्या, s.id. तिथे आपण कोणतीही व्हॅल्यू असाइन केली नव्हती. असाइन करताना कशी असाइन केली होती, मॅन्युअली इथेच असाइन केल्या होत्या. But the concept of object is used to reusability property. Okay, means whenever we have created one class and we have to use that class repeatedly in our program. That's why we are creating object of that class. And whenever we will require the properties of that class, at that time only we will provide values to that class. Okay. So according to that, first I have created its object, then via reference, means I have taken reference of this ID class. Okay, and then I have assigned a value of ID to that class, and only I am going to print on the console. Any queries regarding this? Yes? Should I run this program? Okay. Now see how it will be get executed. We have already set the path. When we will see inheritance, I will show you why we cannot write public inside the same program. Okay. Okay, so right now we have provided here 101 and Suno. That's why it has taken it likewise. Now see, I will again use one more value. Suppose s1.id is equal to, suppose I have written 78 and another one s1.name is equal to, suppose I have written here Sweri. Okay, now see what will be answer. Okay. I have to display both the values. That's why I have taken two printing statements. Okay. This will print for this one and second statement will print for the second one. Now see what will be the answer. I will again compile it and then run it. That's why I am using over here the command prompt. If I have started to use directly Eclipse on NetBeans, then these errors are get automatically corrected. That's why I'm not using directly. Okay. So we can assign multiple times values to that ID and name. You can assign one more time, no problem. Okay. Now another one method is you can create object of same class multiple times. Okay. Means स्टुडंट क्लासचा मी अजून एक ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करून पण ही प्रोसेस करू शकते जर मला डिफरंट वेजनी ऍक्सेस करायचे असेल. आता इथे आपल्याला गरज नाही त्यामुळे एका ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएशन वरती आपलं पूर्ण काम होऊ शकते. जर तुम्हाला मल्टिपल टास्क ऍट अ टाइम एकाच प्रोग्राम मध्ये इम्प्लिमेंट करायचे असतील तर तुम्ही एकाच क्लासचे मल्टिपल ऑब्जेक्ट सुद्धा क्रिएट करू शकता. ठीक आहे, ते पण आपण एक्झाम्पल्स बघणार आहे. पण जसं आपण पुढे जाऊ तसे ते प्रोग्राम्स इम्प्लिमेंट करूया. आता केलं तर तुमचं कन्फ्युजन होईल. ओके, सो यू कॅन टेक डाउन दिस प्रोग्राम. दिस इज द वन वे टू डिक्लेअर ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ अ क्लास. I will give you 2 minutes. Take down it. Now see, whenever we are initializing through reference, in that case, an object means storing data into the object. Okay, and then whenever we are initializing through this simple way, in that case, we can create multiple objects and store information in it through reference variable. Am I audible? Okay. Now we will move towards the next example. Okay, I got it. Am I audible? Now see, next part is how to initialize object by method. Okay. So for that, we will see one example. Okay, now see, I have created two variables, that is roll number and name, as we have seen in previous example also. Now, for accessing these variables, I have created one method. Okay, this is a very easy way to access the variables, because suppose I have not created a method, but I am having here more than 5 or more than 10 variables in this example, in this class, then it will be very hectic for me to access these variables one by one. Okay, so to avoid such a part, we can initialize one method in the same class, like I have created here insert record. In that I have again provided two variables, that is, it is nothing but the parameterized method. Okay, so I have provided here two variables through parameterized part, and then we have to assign these parameters to given variables through this method. For roll number, R is get assigned, and for name, N is get assigned. Means whenever we are passing values through this method in our program, in that case, these two values are by defaultly assigned to roll number and name. So there is no necessity to directly access these two values in our program over here. We can access through insert record method. Okay, then for displaying these values, we have written one system.out.println statement in the another method. Okay, so this is the statement for printing the values on the console. It avoids repeatability, means it consumes more space when we are writing in the main method, but whenever we are going to create a separate method in the same class, it will assume that we are implementing it for multiple times. It means it will save our memory. Whenever we are required to print it, then and then only we can use this method. Otherwise, there is no necessity to access this method in our class. We can leave it. Okay, so this is the method to display the information on console window, and this is the method to take values from the user. You can use input values also by using scanner class, as we have seen in previous lecture. Okay, so this is the assignment for you people. You have to use scanner class. By creating object of a scanner class, you have to take values from the user or roll number and name, and then you have to assign in this method. Okay, so this is first assignment for you. Access the object through method by taking inputs from the user. I will provide its statement so you can easily understand it. Till now, implement it and save with you. Whenever I will assign next folder for second assignment, at that time you have to write this assignment in that folder. Then we will move towards the main method. Okay, so in another class I have created one main method. In that I have created two different objects. Okay, what we have done in previous example, we have created a same object. Through that same object we are implementing it. Now see, I will open that program again. You can see it simultaneously. In this example, for separate value we have used this same object. Okay, but whenever we are creating another value for the same object, it will override the previous value. That's why I have taken first printing statement and then written next value. Now suppose I have directly written this statement only. In that case, it will not print the previous value. It will override it and then print the new value. That's why whenever we will want to access the new values also, in that case we have to create a second object. Then and then only our first values also get stored and second values get also stored. Okay, in the definition part we have seen, whenever we are creating objects, some memories get allocated to that object. That's why whenever I have created this object, some memories get allocated. Okay, and in that memory overriding process is doing on. That's why whenever we are going to access multiple values, we need to create multiple objects. Likewise over here. Okay, for student S1 is get created, and for student another object S2 is get created. Now by using insert record, I will insert the first two values, that is roll number and name. After initializing values through this method, it goes to the student class through object. Okay, see, I am showing you the process of assigning values and running on it on console. Okay, understand this process. First, these values are get assigned to the insert record method via object S1. It goes over here. After that, it will assign roll number as a 111 and name as a current. Okay, and that values are assigned over here. Then these values are moving towards the next part, that is the display information when it is accessed in the method, and through that it is go to over here and first value is get printed on the console. So this is the flow of program implementation. This is the very basic part, but you should know it how our program is get implemented. Okay? Understood what we have done? We have initialized object to access the methods. If you want to note it down, you can note it. Okay. Now we will see another method, create object for constructor. Okay. Should I close this? Okay. So I will close this. We will move towards the next part. That is this one, by constructor. Okay. And after that we will see constructor and its methods, then how to copy it likewise. Okay. Now see, I have used here one example regarding employee. In that I have provided three variables for ID, name and salary. Okay. Same method I have created it as an insert. In that I have provided three parameters for ID, for name and for salary. And all these parameters are assigned to these variables. Okay. Then another is used for the displaying the method. Okay. I have displayed this method. Then this is the another class. In that class we are going to access this class over here. Now see what I have done. I have create object as a employee E1, E2 and E3. Okay. And then I have created here the method insert, and through that method I have provided some values. So this is the simple way as we have seen it through method. Okay, this is the way to assign through method. Now we will see how to assign via constructor. Constructor is nothing but the same name as class name. So I will use this part only as a your program. Now see what will happen. This is the process of assigning values through constructor. Name of a constructor is nothing but employee only. Okay. Remaining part is as it is. Now see, I will make here comment. This is the multi-line comment. Now I will provide these values in the constructor only. Okay. Now see. The example is related to method. Now I am converting into constructor because we can create constructor and through that object we can access the values. Okay, now see what will happen. I have saved this program. Now I will run it. Okay, now see, I have provided values to this class through constructor. Now check. Okay, so this is the one way to to assign values through constructor. I have kept this program same as a method, only that part is converted into like a constructor, and this is get accessed over here. Okay, if you want to take it, you can take it, because this is helpful while creating the constructor concept also, and for finding out the object part also. It may be learned in CPP also, because constructor is also there. That's why it may happen that you know all these things, only some revision is there, because some parts get changed when we are moving towards the Java. That's why we will again revise it and we will move on. Okay, now we will move towards the next part. Now see, we have covered this part, initialization of object. There is a one part that is the method. We will see in the next lecture. Till now we will first cover constructor, then we will see the method, because method will take more time as compared to constructor. That's why we will first take a constructor. Before starting constructor, give the roll number 1, roll number 1.
Present, ma'am.
Start. Roll number 2. Roll number 2. Roll number 2 is there. Roll number 3. Roll number 3.
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Okay. Roll number 4.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
5.
Present, ma'am.
Roll number 6.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
7. 8.
Present, ma'am.
9.
Present, ma'am.
10.
Present, ma'am.
11.
Present, ma'am.
Pratiksha. Pratiksha, what is your roll number?
Yes, ma'am.
What
11.
is your roll? Then roll number 10.
11, ma'am.
Okay.
Vaishnavi Kamale.
Vaishnavi. Okay. Roll number 12.
Present, ma'am.
13.
Present, ma'am.
14. 4. 15.
Present, ma'am.
16.
Present, ma'am.
17. Roll number 17.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Roll number 18.
Present, ma'am.
Snehal. Your roll number is?
Yes, ma'am.
Your roll
17.
number is? Then 16 is?
17, ma'am.
Okay.
Vaishali.
Roll number 16.
Present, ma'am. Vaishali.
Okay, written. Roll number 18. 18. 19. Roll number 19. 20. 21. 21.
Ma'am.
Absent?
Present.
Okay. 22.
Present, ma'am.
23.
Present, ma'am.
24. Roll number 24. Absent? 25.
Present, ma'am.
26.
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Sangamitra? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 24, ma'am.
Okay. Then 27.
Present, ma'am.
27. Okay. 28. Roll number 28.
Yes, ma'am.
Sangamitra,
Hello, ma'am.
your roll number is 24, no? I am asking 20. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
28.
Ma'am.
Who is 24 then?
Yes, ma'am. 24 room number.
Am I audible?
Hello.
Okay, roll number 24 and 28. Mention your attendance in the chat box. 29. 29. 30.
Present, ma'am.
31. 31. 31 is absent.
Hello,
32.
ma'am.
33. Yes. Hello, Sangamitra. Okay. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 38. 40. 41.
Madam 39. Madam 39.
Okay. 41. 42. Roll number.
Present, madam.
Okay. 43.
42, madam.
हाँ लिख ले 43 44
Present, ma'am.
44 okay 45
Yes, madam.
then 46 Omkar
Yes, madam.
46
Yes, madam.
okay then 47
Yes, madam.
yes I have noted 47 is there? 48?
Yes, madam.
49? 49? 50?
Present.
Okay.
Present, ma'am.
51?
Present, ma'am.
52?
Present, ma'am.
53?
Present, ma'am.
54? 54? 55?
Present, ma'am.
56? Roll number 56. 57?
Present.
58?
Yes, madam.
Okay. 59?
Present, madam.
60?
Yes, ma'am.
61?
Yes, ma'am.
62? Who is 60?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 62?
Yes, ma'am.
I am asking roll number 60. Who is roll number 60?
Yes, ma'am.
60. Okay. 61, 62. Then 63. 63. 64. Roll number 64. 65. 66. 66. 67.
Yes, ma'am.
68. 68.
मॅडम 66 प्रेझेंट आहे नेटवर्क इश्यू
Okay.
हे करतो माईक चालू झालं
असू दे. 68 is there? 69.
69, madam. Present.
Okay. 70.
60.
Present.
69 present, ma'am.
Written it.
70 present.
Okay. 71. 71. 72.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. 73.
Present, ma'am.
74.
Present, ma'am.
75.
Present, ma'am.
76. 77. Okay, anybody has remained? Those who are new, those who are joined from today onwards, they can tell me your name. Okay. I will read today's roll numbers, those who are absent. Roll number 2.
Ma'am.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Now I will call the roll numbers, those who are absent. If they are present, either write in the chat box or unmute your mic. Okay. Roll number 2. 14, 1, 4. Then 18, 1, 8. Roll number 18. 19, 1, 9. 20. 28.
Ma'am, roll number 18 is present. Present, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. 28 is there? 14 is also present. Okay. 28 is absent. 29. Deepak. Okay, I will take your name. After that, I will assign your roll number. 29. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 38. 40. 41. 43. 47. 49. 54. 56. 65. 68. 71. Okay. Now we will move towards the next part, that is the constructor. What is meant by constructor with its properties? Okay, while creating constructor, we have to follow some rules. Out of that, these are the three main rules. Out of that, two are the main rules from these three. Constructor name must be the same as its class name. Again, the constructor must have no explicit return type. Means like a method we cannot return our return type. Then a a Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final, and synchronized. Whenever we will see this word, that is static word, final word, then abstract methods, at that time we will see why constructor cannot be a abstract, static, final, and synchronized. Only till now, remember that this is the statement which is asked for the external or in the interviews. Why constructors are not abstract, static, final, or synchronized. That's why these two rules are for applying to create the constructor, and this is the only one we have to follow it. So according to this, it is divided into two parts: default constructor and parameterized constructor. It is divided into two parts: default constructor and parameterized constructor. So first we will see simple parts, and then we will move towards the constructor overloading and Java copy constructor. Okay. First we will see how to create constructor with different ways. Now again we have to back through this. Again we have to come out of this, and then we have to move towards the another folder, that is the constructor. Again we have to set the path. Okay. Now we will see one by one examples. Okay. First example, we will see student. This is the very simple example by default, whatever we are creating. Okay. Now see, I have created one class, that is a student. In the same class, main method is there. Okay, that's why I have created it as a public one. Okay. Whenever we are creating public class, in that case, our program name must be as a class name. And whenever we are not creating public class, in that case, you can write your own name for that program, which is other than this name of that class. Okay, so this is the difference between whenever we are creating public and non-public. Now I have created two variables. Again, I have created one method that is displaying to avoid rewriting this statement in our program. Directly we can call this method and we can use this for multiple times. Now see, I have created two objects, S1 and S2 for this same class. Okay, and whenever we are creating object, in that case, now see here, I have created first object S1 through new method, new keyword, and I have used here student and bracket. This is the meaning of a default constructor. Okay, whenever we are creating any object in any Java program, at that time a default constructor is called to create an object of that particular class. Okay, that's why I have not explained in the previous example, because you will not enable, you are unable to understand what is default constructor to create object. Right now it is correct way to explain it. Whenever we are creating any object, we are using new keyword. With the help of a new keyword and default constructor, we are creating one object. So this is the default constructor. And whenever we will pass some values through this constructor, that is called as the parameterized constructor. Okay. So there are two ways: default constructors without arguments or without values, and another one is a parameterized constructor. Okay, so these are the two ways. Then I have displayed these values through display method on the console. But right now we have not provided any values to variables. That's why our answer is 0 and null, as we have seen for previous examples. Okay, 0 and null. Why it has printed double? Because we have created two objects, and for each object we have used this display method. That's why your answer is a double. Okay, now see, suppose I have provided value over here, it will take that value only. But in this process we cannot assign values to these variables. We have used default constructor. That's why we are unable to assign it. But suppose I have used here one process, that is s1 dot id is equal to, suppose I have provided 11, and again s2 dot name is equal to ABC. Now see what I am doing. By using first object, I have provided value to ID, and by using second object, I have provided value to name. It means in first display method, it will show output as a 11 and null, and in second, it will show 0 and ABC. See output of this. Okay. Have you got it? How we can assign the values whenever we will require it, and whenever we does not want it, we can skip that part. Okay, first take down simple example and then write these two values and again take it. I have covered here two parts simultaneously. First, default value for default constructor, and again by assigning values by different objects, and it will get assigned to these variables, and then it is displayed on the console. Have you taken screenshots? Okay, so next part is a parameterized constructor. We will see one parameterized constructor. We have already seen in that employee example, still we will again check it. Okay, because whenever we are creating object, we will need both the ways, either default constructor, and if you want to pass the values through it, then parameterized constructor. So this is the same as the employee one, only we are assigning in the same class. Okay, in that employee example, we have assigned outside the main method and here inside the main method. So I will directly run it. Okay, I have provided here two parameters through this constructor, and I have assigned values over here through this constructor. Okay, so this is the values. Now see, I'm going to change one value over here. How it will work? I am assigning here s1 dot id is equal to 4545. Okay. Now see what I have done. I have changed value of a id. Okay. S1 dot id means it goes over here, but we have currently assigned value as a 111. Means it goes to here and it will goes to here. Now see what will be the answer. I have changed value for id for the first constructor, means for first object. Now check. Whatever updated value is there, it is get printed over here. I have updated value of a first object id and it is nothing but the 45 and that value is get updated here. Okay, so we can do as per our convenience. Okay, so this is the logical part of programming. Okay, so you have to remember it. You can change whenever you will require it, but this is the common part through constructor. But whenever you will require to change it, you can change it, no problem. Okay, so I will mark it as a comment, so it will be very easy to understand it. Okay, so take down its screenshot. Only 2 points are remain from constructor, that is the copy constructor. Another one is the overloading of constructor. Okay. Constructor overloading and Java copy constructor. Constructor overloading is nothing but it is just like a method but without return type, and it can also be overloaded like a Java methods. This is called as the constructor overloading. And copy constructor is there is no any copy constructor in Java. However, we can copy the values from one object to another like a copy constructor in C++. Okay. So first we will see constructor overloading and then we will see copy constructor. Now first see how to overload the constructor. I have taken one class having name as student 5. In that 3 variables are there: ID, name and age. I have created first constructor with 2 parameters. First one is used for the ID and second one is used for the name. And another constructor with 3 parameters, that is ID, name and age. And I have assigned all these values to these original values. Okay. Then display method is used to print all these values. Because display method is common for both the constructors, that's why I have used 3 variables in the method. Okay. Because we are using same method for both the constructors, that's why all these values means all these parameters I have provided in this printing statement. Okay. Next, in main method I have created first object using constructor having 2 parameters and another one object using constructor having 3 parameters. Okay, so this is the declaration part with parameterized constructor. But right now we have used the constructor overloading, means this is the constructor having 2 variables and again we have defined another constructor having 3 variables. Means we have overloaded this constructor with this new constructor. Okay, so this is nothing but the constructor overloading part. Means we have kept first 2 parameters same as it is. Okay, we cannot change it, otherwise its meaning is get totally changed and it will be comes under the another part. But this will be a wrong values. That's why we have to keep first values as it is, and we have added a new value over here. That's why it is called as the constructor overloading. Now see what will be its answer. Okay. In first constructor, we have created only two values, that is ID and name. That's why it has printed two values, and third one is taken as a 0 because third parameter is a integer one, and in this constructor we have not provided any third parameter, but in this display method we have provided all these three parameters. That's why it has printed it as a 0. Now see, I will provide age also in for this object, then see what will happen. Now see, I am creating s1 dot age is equal to, suppose, okay, so this is the age I have provided to for the first object, because we have not provided over here through constructor. That's why it is showing you 0. Now I have provided age. Okay, now that updated age is taken over here. By default, it is considering it as a 0 because this is the integer one. Right now, I have provided here age as a 24, and this is get assigned to this object, and through that object, it is assigned to this variable. Okay, so this is the constructor overloading. Okay, so I will make here comment, take down this screenshot, and try to implement it. Now see, I am providing through direct program. You have to take the values from the user using scanner class, as we have discussed in the previous lectures. If you are having any queries regarding scanner class, you can ask me right now. I can explain it. Okay.
Hello ma'am.
Yes.
Scanner class explain करा.
1 minute. Okay. Now I will move towards that scanner class example once again. Till now you can take this. I can explain the scanner class. I will explain scanner class in the same example. That will be very easy to understand. Okay. Now I will update the scanner class function. Sorry, scanner class methods in the same example. Now see how to access it. First, we have to import java dot util dot. Whenever we want to access all the classes through these packages, you can write the star. You can write over here star, and whenever you want to access that particular class only, then you have to mention its name of that class. Right now I have written star. You can write here particular class, that is the scanner class also. Okay. Now see how to access it. In main method, first you have to create object of a scanner class. This is the scanner class, so you should write name of a class in uppercase, otherwise it cannot fetch. Okay, is equal to new scanner. In that, how to take it? Using system.in method. System.in method. Okay, now see, I have written here system.in, means we have to take values from the user. Now, whenever we are taking value from the user, in that case you should write one statement which is used for the user purpose, means system dot out dot println. In that mention, we have to take the values from the user. Now I will take age from the user, only one value, that is age from the user. Okay, then I will choose the name. Otherwise I will first take value, all these values from the user. First enter id comma name comma age. Okay, one by one user has to enter it. Now see how to take values. Okay, we have already assigned the values, so we will use the S1. Now see, first I have declared here 3 variables right now, but here only one value is remain, that is the age. We can check all these values, but before that first we will take age from the user. How to take age from the user? Age is the integer value, right? So you can directly take in. In is the object of a scanner class. In dot next int. Okay, it will take value from the user. By default it will print the value like this. Let it be. See here now what will be the answer. We will take all these values. First we will take the age, then we will see remaining values. Okay, now suppose I have entered age as a 7. Okay, that is get displayed over here. Okay, understood? Then this is for the integer value. Now whenever we are considering name, it has the 3 values, means first name, middle name and last name, that is the surname. How to take it? Now see how to take it. For taking complete name, only next is not used. For taking complete name, there is a one method, that is the next line. It will take complete name. Suppose I have written only next, it will take a one word. See it first. Okay, I will show you both the ways. First see next line, which is very important for you. Okay, first I will enter A, B, C. I will use space X, Y, Z. Then age as A. Okay, it has taken a complete name A, B, C over here. Means first name and last name considered. We have considered first name, last name. Then it has considered all these names. And now see, I have written here a simple next method for take the values from the user. Now check what will happen. We cannot write complete name over here. Okay, now suppose I have written ABC, again XYZ, then okay, understood, it has given me one error. That error is nothing but the only next method is used for the one word. We cannot use for the complete sentence. Okay, so next line is used for the take the complete sentence from the user. Have you understood, Rishikesh? Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
Rishikesh? Okay, so likewise
Hello.
for floating. Hello. Yes. Hello, continue.
Understood, ma'am.
Okay. Another one is whenever we are using floating values, in that case you have to write here float, F must be capital. For double values you have to write here double, D must be capital. For character char, C must be capital likewise. Okay. So whatever programs we have seen today, you have to implement using scanner class. You can take a single value from user also, no problem. But I will tell you which programs you have to implement using scanner class. First one is declaration of object using constructor. Okay, and in that constructor, as we have seen this example only. Okay, likewise, you have to create your own example. You can take any example. You can take a fan. You can take employee address. Likewise. Okay, either three. You can take anyone, or better option you take address as your example. Take values from user, assign that values to constructor, and again display to user. This is the one task through constructor, and another one is through method. Right now we have not seen any types of methods in this lecture. Right now we have not seen any methods types. Only we have seen constructors and its types, and how to declare object and how to access methods in our program. So implement address class. In that address class, provide a complete address with pin code. Okay, and take this address from user as I have shown you how to take the name and print on the console. For that, first one is by using constructor and second one is by using method. Okay, so this is the today's experiment. Okay, whenever I will share you second folder for second chapter, at that time you have to upload this program in that folder. Okay, then last one is a Java copy constructor. Last one is Java copy constructor. As we have seen, copy constructor is not allowed in Java, but we can access its properties as a copy constructor. Okay, now see, I have created one constructor having two values as which are present in this class, that is a ID and name. Then all these value I have provided in the another constructor. Okay, so this is nothing but the one type of a copy constructor. Means whatever values we are assigning over, all these values are get assigned over here through object of that constructor. See here, what we have passed over here, object of a first constructor which is having two parameters, and that by using that object we are accessing this ID and name over here. Okay, so in main method also you have to do the same work. This is the simple display method for printing the values on the console. This is plus and double quote is used for, this plus is used for the concatenating two values, and double quote and space to add the space in between these two values. Only simple meaning for this one is there, and plus is for the concatenation. If you want to print it on the next line, then you can use the another printing statement and you can print on the next line. Okay, now see, first object is S1. Okay, this is the object for first constructor, means first this one is the class, and we have to pass this object in this constructor. Okay, this is part of the copy constructor. It goes over here, it again takes the values from over here and it will print. Right now it will print the values as a 0 and null because we have not assigned any values, and whenever we will assign values over here, it will print it as a this. Now see what will be the answer. Okay, so first values get assigned to the second object and that values get printed over here like this. Okay, so this is one type of a copy constructor. We can call it as a copy constructor because copy constructor is not available in Java. Only we are using by using another way. So take down its screenshot. Okay. Any queries regarding today's lecture? If queries are there, ask me till 8 to 9 minutes are there. No queries? Yes? Deepak? Deepak Sakre? Okay, first I will stop the recording. I want to discuss one thing with you also.